Making a difference through CoAct members connects us, strengthens our sense of belonging and creates positive relationships that build stronger communities. Recognising achievement among people who make a real difference at the coalface is essential because it's the people who work in our communities, people who through this work have achieved in our communities and the role models they both go on to create for others to follow that makes the real difference. That's why it's important that we acknowledge both the work and the people that make the difference. These awards are nominated by and awarded by local communities, the way it should be. They know what's going on around us better than the people who work day in, day out, and better than our CoAct members who are embedded in their local communities around Australia. I know some of our recipients have come a long way to make it to the ceremony today, and for many of them, and for many of you here in this room, it will be your first time in Canberra, almost certainly your first time in Parliament House. We chose this venue to create a link between our country's leaders here in Canberra and the communities which they serve and allow them to recognise and meet the heroes that make this country great. I'd like to now introduce our CoAct National Ambassador, Olympic and World Champion swimmer Matt Cowdrey. As you know, Matthew is Australia's greatest ever Paralympian, who, although he has just recently retired, continues to mentor young Australian swimmers and has started a promising career with one of our conference supporters, KPMG. His drive to achieve and to expand his knowledge and skills and pull that back into the community makes Matthew Adelaide's local hero, but a national treasure. And we are thrilled to have him with us today to help celebrate our CoAct local heroes. And we hope that you, and I hope that you'll join me in welcoming him to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Ladies and gentlemen, MPs and senators, look, it's fantastic to be here today. It really is. To now be a part of this great organisation, CoAct, and to be their national ambassador is a true privilege. It really is. And today we're here to hear a little less from me, quite frankly. What we're here to do is to hear about the national heroes, the CoAct heroes that have done so much for their own communities, contributed so much to the fabric of our nation. It really is important to recognise people that do contribute to the community in different ways, in different avenues, but what's important is what's within their hearts. What they're striving to achieve is an improvement to our country as a whole, and that's something that's very special to recognise. So I congratulate each and every one of them in advance. I look forward to hearing a little bit more about what they've done, what they've contributed and what they've achieved individually. But thank you for having me here today, and I look forward to the ceremony.
So today we will not only recognise these heroes, but we will hear from three of them as well. Our local heroes come in all shapes and sizes. They come from the job seeker who's made an incredible difference to their own life, the job seeker who has made the transition from looking for work to being the employer and now employing other people and giving new opportunity. They come as the employment consultant, who we all know within our businesses who make an incredible difference to individuals' lives day in, day out. And they also come as employers who collaborate, who connect with the NGO sector, the community sector, and work in partnership to find and develop a new workforce. So I would like to start with our CoAct member Community Solutions from Medina, Queensland, has nominated Endeavour Foundation CEO, David Barbagallo. And this is for good reason. David understands the capital that's invested in the social sector, the NGO sector, and is committed to developing that to its greatest potential. He's a great supporter of CoAct and we welcome him fondly to the stage.
Where I put my notes. Thank you, Matt and Matt. Can I just thank CoAct on behalf of everyone at Endeavour Foundation. I'd particularly like to recognise the trainees who we've engaged in the organisation. We employ some 5,000 people, and so coming into an organisation the size of Endeavour Foundation must be a challenge. I know we're a very important organisation because we have a lot of rules. I'd like to thank job consultants and the members of CoAct. We've recently become a member of CoAct, so I'm looking forward to increasing our strategy of engaging with CoAct members to get our workforce, I guess, in the competition for human capital. You want your workforce to be ready to work, and that's where I see the value of CoAct in this process. So thank you. It's great to be a local hero in that sense, but Endeavour Foundation, whilst it's a big organisation now, started out very much as a local hero. A group of parents whose children had been excluded from the education system got together and set up a school on a veranda in Coorparoo in Queensland because they understood that everyone has a right to an education. And after that came the need to build employment opportunities for people with a disability, and we're one of the largest employers of people with disability. And what have we learned from that? We fundamentally understand the importance of work, the dignity of having a job, the self-esteem it brings, and the increase in independence that people get as a consequence. So thank you for this recognition. We're delighted to be an employer of people, giving them often their first chance at work. We look forward to working with CoAct in the future. And I'll just finish by referring to what Matt said about social capital. As someone who's a CEO of a large organisation in this country, I'm particularly concerned to ensure that the members of Parliament here today and other leaders understand the enormous value that NGOs and not-for-profits bring to this country, the enormous amount of social capital that we build every day through innumerable acts of kindness and caring that can't be discovered in a transaction receipt, but we all know the benefits we bring to our community. And I think it would be very sad if the social capital that exists in so many NGOs is set aside in the pursuit of some mythical competitive environment that doesn't necessarily work when you're dealing with people's lives. So it's not often you get an opportunity in Parliament to say those things. So I thought I'd take that opportunity. Thank you again, Matt.
Thank you, David. As I said, the large employer is valued in our network, but for every large employer there is a connector. And in our businesses we have lots of connectors. And today I'd like to call up Kerry Hodgson, a connector, an employment consultant, a very valuable person I know to Bundaberg impact at Bundaberg. And so Kerry, please join us on the stage.
A couple of minutes ago I shook Matt Cowdrey's hand and I'm still shaking. My mum is in here. Thank you so much for this award, but I suppose what I want to impress upon is how important community service like Impact and CoAct can make a change in someone's life. I personally suffered from severe depression and anxiety, as you can hear in my voice. Went through personal support programs, job networks, JSAs, and Stream 4, and boy did I stuff up their outcomes. Just kept quitting. My employment advisor thought there's something wrong, she's quite employable. maybe she needs to build her confidence up. So she put me into a Cert 2 business admin course. I cried every day for 15 days, the first 15 days, but I kept going because she was waking me up and said, if you don't come, I'm coming to get you. I was very embarrassed about my house living conditions, so I went. Completed that, was in amongst people just like me, and yes, my confidence grew, loved it. Got put forward for a couple of jobs after that and quit. Then I applied for a Certificate 3 Business Administration traineeship at the age of 38 with Impact Community Services, and tried to quit every day for 3 months, but they said, no, you've got to get it 6 months. So I did, with a lot of support from Job Duties CoAct. They couldn't help enough to keep me there. 5 years later, I'm in my dream role as a personal helper and mentor in employment. So I get to help people suffering severe and persistent mental illnesses, hold their hand and walk them into employment. I don't shake like this when I teach them interview skills. It's much easier when you're on the other side. But what an important job. At the end of the day, as my boss always says, it's not about us, it's about them. What have you done to make our community better? What have you done in someone's life to make their lives better? You just got to be constantly proactive and show up to work every day and just try your hardest to make a difference. So and that's what happens now with me. Can't wait to get to work every day and don't want to leave every day. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jared. And next we have another very inspiring story. Tricia Brunt is our local hero nominated by MTC. For those in the sector know, there is a very important program called the NEAT program that helps entrepreneurs, innovators to set up their own new business, to have a go. And that's exactly what happened in Tricia's example. And I won't steal her thunder of her journey, but we welcome Tricia very much to the stage.
I think that's something. Good afternoon, Honourable Ministers of Parliament, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a humbling experience and an honour to be standing here today accepting this Local Heroes Award as nominated by NTC Australia via the NEAT program. Oof, I'm shaking like Terry. And I sincerely thank everyone involved in this beautiful day's event. NTC Australia, through the NEAT program, provided an invaluable avenue of assistance that helped me and my business, United Pacific 3, to be where we are today. When taking those first steps out of the comfort zone and into the world of starting your own business, as most would imagine, you are faced with many such feelings as fear, doubt, insecurity, and an overwhelming idea of maybe I have bitten off more than I could chew. Using every cent that I had to my name and taking a nosedive into the great unknown was one of the scariest decisions I had to make, considering my circumstances at the time. But with Nice and my ever so encouraging mentor, Miro, and his team by my side to provide that fortnightly wage whilst I work the business like I would any other job,
The start was made possible and the business survived its first year of operation. Back in 2009, when I first tried to begin my business, I was faced with a predicament. Having been working overseas for 10 years, I found it was quite difficult for me to find financial assistance when starting out. So through my times overseas, I gained the necessary skills and knowledge to start my business in the shipping industry as a freight forwarder. Financial backing or loan options were limited to my lack of financial history within Australia as a result of my years abroad. Hence the fear, doubt, and insecurity. So when I did come across the NIS program, it was a definite shining light in the situation that I was faced with. Their ability to not only assist financially, but also lending a helping hand in regards to educating, facilitating, and continuous mentoring through the program provided proper stepping stones to which I have made my business grow from a mere sole trader to a company within this 6-year period. The program's ability to help monitor the business and a constant and unwavering helping hand from a designated mentor enabled me to push past the fears and doubts to survive when that was all I could see. The atmosphere also within the business course given as the prerequisite to qualify for the program enabled me to be amongst like-minded and ambitious individuals, which was comforting. Their enthusiasm was a great encouragement, and the program through this class had only worked to push and drive my own ambitions even further. The first year of operating a new business in any industry is the hardest. When things don't go right, you doubt. When the phone doesn't ring as often as you would wish, and customers aren't knocking as much as you would hope, you worry. When you are unable to give, proper financial input into your household, or afford the little treats for your parents and children. Sorry, people, I wasn't meant to do this. I'm trying to. When you're unable to give proper financial input into your household or afford the little treats for your parents and children because the business isn't flourishing yet and money is tight, you feel depressed. Having a niece mentor in that first year is very critical because I knew that every quarter I had to provide financials to Nero. The thought helped greatly in keeping me going regardless of the hurdles. I remember when Nero came to visit in the first quarter to get my income tax document. I was worried about the figures, but they weren't that great. Yet when Nero saw them, he thought they were fantastic. He was genuine through his compliments. Sorry. You have family that encourage you, but you are always doubtful because they might be biased. And they say only what you want to hear. Having Nero saying the same thing and look excited about what I achieved thus far was invaluable. It alleviated some of the doubts and pushed me along to the next quarter. Again, Nero was full of praise. When Nero asked if his boss could come to visit, I thought, wow, it's either I was doing really badly according to the new standards, or I'm doing very well to warrant a visit from the boss. It was great of Michael York to take the time to visit. Surrounding yourselves with the people that genuinely want you to succeed contributed greatly in getting me through that first year of business. Mr. York was as positive and encouraging as Nero. I was blessed with a great niece team. Thank you, Colin Lloyd, CEO of MTC Australia, for a great team. And I thank Mr. Miro Lojanica, Mr. Michael York, Amanda, Cheryl, and the team for their dedication and genuine support. Their support did not end in that first year. I am very happy to have made them proud and to come this far. I thank my parents for the continued support. They still come to help me at work almost every day. It's a blessing to have siblings and relatives that help me. I wouldn't be here today if they weren't holding me forward while I come to receive this award for the team at United Pacific Freight. And my niece, mentor, and team. Thank you, MTC Australia's management and team for the nomination. This is our award together. To Amanda and Shirley of MTC, thank you. I thank the United Pacific Freight and my loyal customers for the success UPF has achieved thus far. I sincerely hope that UPF will continue to succeed to ensure that Australia's economy through this government initiative continues to grow through our business contribution in exporting Australian rice, sugar and meat products to our neighbouring countries in the Pacific region. Again, to you, honourable members of Parliament and guests, I sincerely thank you for sharing this day with me. To CoAct and those involved in the NEAS program, greatest thanks and continued praise. It is through all those involved and the help that you provide us, little guys, a chance to become bigger and better.
Tricia, what a fantastic story. Thank you very much. I'll now read through a number of our other local heroes so you get an understanding of the great work that they have also done, and we'll ask Matt to present the awards as we go along. First of all, to Access Community Group in Wollongong have nominated a local hero that deserves so much more than we are giving her today. Need a Feed founder, Shaz Harrison-Shaw, helps local families provide food, support and emergency food relief. Shaz founded Need a Feed in 2012 and works in partnership with other organisations to connect with families who need food support. Her organisation, Need a Feed, hold events throughout the year, raising funds to supply food to hundreds of people on any given day. She plans to grow partnerships to expand her reach and support even more families in need. Her relentless pursuit to bring business, community services and the community together for the benefit of those in need is inspirational. She works tirelessly across the entire region to make sure her program is available to all. She has put her heart and soul into Need a Feed, so it's an absolute honour for us to have her here as a CoAct local hero. Our member, Bridging the Gap in Fremantle, has nominated the community group Dismantle as their local hero. Dismantle was nominated because it's leading the way in connecting young people into education and work using a bicycle as a tool to break down barriers. The program they run focuses on boosting self-esteem, learning tangible skills and connecting them to a positive future. At Dismantle we have Patrick Ryan. They work with adolescents who are highly disengaged with mainstream schooling. Dismantle teaches them bike restoration skills while Bridging the Gap skills them up in a Certificate 1 in work preparation. The outcome is a very impressive 75% of participants actively involved in education, training and employment 6 months after they complete the project. Collecting the award today on behalf of Patrick will be Evan Parker. Thank you. In Richmond, Victoria, our CoAct member AXO has nominated Paul Singh, who coordinated AXO's business partnership with Project New Dawn and its two lead corporate partners, BP and Bunnings. Project New Dawn is an innovative program that addresses homelessness and unemployment by providing safe housing and paid employment opportunities for individuals who do not have a place to call home. or a paid job to make ends meet. Paul coordinates a small, dedicated team to identify suitable accommodation, recruits new house tenants, and works with our corporate employer partners to provide ongoing paid employment as well as provide ongoing mentoring to all house tenants through weekly house meetings and additional support at the workplace. Thank you, Paul. Workways, our member has nominated a dynamic duo, Tracy Sassel and Gail Isdale, joint directors of Angels for Autism, an organisation that provides schools, parents and community members access to the Autism Support Kit, ASK, an e-learning educational resource for children and young people with autism. This amazing pair of local heroes were school learning support officers who were working with children with autism. In order to ensure that the children they worked with had the best possible school experience, they developed an e-learning resource pack and educational program that assisted the children to more effectively participate in their schooling and which supported them to learn skills to allow them to effectively transition through school to employment. Congratulations. With all these local heroes here, the ACT is shining bright today with the recognition of Sue Salthouse, who is a disability activist, a state finalist for Senior Australian of the Year in 2015, and is now a CoAct local hero. Sue has been a disability activist since 1995 when she broke her spine in an accident. It was then that she realised opportunities for full participation in society are limited for many people with disabilities, and that motivated her to join forces with organisations which work to change that situation. Sue has always had a keen sense of social justice, and her immersion into the world of disability advocacy enabled her to work on behalf of people who often feel powerless. Sue has had a particular focus on improving the status of women with disabilities. Her work with disability and women organisations has spanned grassroots leadership and capacity building through to ensuring women's rights are realised in all United Nations human rights conventions, including that on the rights of people with disabilities. Her work has helped her become the Consumer Co-Chair of the ACT Disability Expert Panel and Canberra Citizen of the Year 2015. Congratulations. Settlement Services International in Ashfield in Sydney have nominated businessman and entrepreneur Hikmat Shah. Hikmat came to Australia in 2010 and sought refugee from persecution and violence he and his family experienced in Pakistan. He was granted a refugee visa in May 2010. In Karachi, Hikmat was a businessman employing thousands of people across a variety of businesses, including a social enterprise that supported underprivileged women in rural areas access employment and regular incomes. He has worked hard to establish himself again as a businessman in Australia, and SSI, Ignite Small Business Startup Initiative, is facilitating links and networks to support Hikmat and his entrepreneurial skills. His drive to achieve after leaving everything and starting again is the sort of attitude that this country is founded upon. We are indeed lucky to have him here in Australia, and is a perfect example of what people from all different backgrounds, regardless of the circumstances they come to us, contribute to Australian society in a positive and inspiring way. It is the Australian dream coming to reality. Welcome, Hikmat. today comes to us like one of our great members, MS Australia. You could not find a better person to represent your organisation than Tim. Tim was brought up in rural Barnsdale, did I say that right? Barnsdale, and lived his life with a love of sport from a very early age. His natural talent with the oval ball resulted in him being selected into high-profile football clubs such as the VFL Port Melbourne, and was on the cusp of being drafted into the AFL Melbourne Football Club in 2002. While he was participating in his love of sport, Tim suddenly discovered he was experiencing an episode of double vision. A diagnosis of multiple sclerosis soon followed, along with other symptoms affecting his mobility, balance and fatigue levels. This dynamic young man in time felt well again to return to work, coaching school-aged children in a variety of sports, which he loved. With the help of MS Australia, Tim has diversified his professional life and changed roles to a high-profile role with an international airline carrier, requiring less mobility, and continues his passion for sport when he took up wheelchair basketball, which I'm sure is very damaging. With the love and support of his beautiful wife, baby, family and friends, Tim is an enthusiastic fundraiser for MS, and he hopes to one day run and kick the footy with his daughter when the elusive cure is found. Welcome, Tim. So that's is at the end of our presentation here today. As I said right at the start, our local heroes come in all shapes and sizes. The work that CoAct does through its members, day in, day out, makes a massive difference to the communities where we live, and we should be very proud of that work. Again, thank you for coming. I look forward to seeing you tonight at our gala dinner. If anyone would like to speak to me about CoAct, our conference over the next few days, our exciting list of speakers, which include representatives from OECD, United Nations, and people such as Graham Innes, Caroline Casey and Wally Ali, or the dinner, please come find me or our staff and we'll help you. Thank you very much today.